Before the construction commenced, accommodation was necessary for about 14 men, and this was built in Otago and transported to the site. The Haast Pass, under snow conditions at the time of commencement of the work, which was about 6 miles beyond the pass, almost directly under the Brewster Glacier, which is shown under summer conditions. The campsite in the gorge was very confined, and access to it was extremely poor initially. There was an 8 to 10 foot wide access track, which caused many problems of transport. And the early work was purely the widening of this initial access track with some small amount of blasting. The country was expected to have been principally solid rock, whereas early experience proved that it was generally slip material containing boulders up to 1,000 cubic meters or more. There were some rock spurs which required widening, but generally what appeared to be solid rock was in fact slip material, and this made drilling and blasting techniques very difficult, with a major problem of fly rock. It was some time before these problems were overcome, but later in the film it will be apparent that fly rock is not the problem that it is at this stage. Again, in this area, what appears to be solid rock was not, but purely large boulders. Removal of the blasted rock and other material was relatively simple because no fillings were contemplated. Instead, all the cut material was to waste into the side of the gorge. Sunshine was relatively rare, and everyone enjoyed what little there was. Initially, it had been planned to use crib walling to allow the development of some embankments, and an earlier tennis court on the Otago side of the pass was used for the construction of crib blocks. These crib walls proved to be unsuccessful, except in one case. The first crib wall was only partially completed, the stage that it was initially damaged by slips. The first of our visitors arrived, and the opportunity was taken for a shot of drilling crew and the mechanics who came in to maintain the plant. While they did their work in fine weather, their retreat back to Otago was in very heavy rain. The foreman rode on the rear of the wagon, despite the rain. The reason was not that he enjoyed the scenery, but that he was not game to travel inside the wagon. One of our earlier visitors was the late Mr. A.H. Reid, who spent a night with us on his way on a walking trip through to Paringa from the Otago end. Here he is seen with the works supervisor, Bruce Parker.